stop. Before you do anything else today, don't move. I need to show you something that is actively making you poorer right now in real time while you're sitting here watching this video. That savings account you're proud of, the one you've been carefully building for years, it lost money today. Not because the market crashed, not because you made a bad investment, because you woke up, because the calendar moved one more day forward, carefully, because the system you were never taught to question is working exactly as designed, and it is not designed in your favor. Here is the number nobody in mainstream finance wants to say out loud. $100 saved in 1975 has the purchasing power of just $16.40 today. That is an 84% collapse in real value over one working lifetime. And the pace is accelerating. Since 2020 alone, the Federal Reserve expanded the M2 money supply by over $6 trillion in roughly 24 months. Prices spiked at over 9%, at peak the worst inflationary period since the 1980s. Wages, as they almost always do, lagged behind. The people who lost most weren't investors who made bad bets. They were savers. The people who did everything they were told to do. Cash is not a store of value, an invisible tax on discipline. And here's the trap nobody explains. Most people respond to inflation anxiety by doing one of three things. They chase yield in assets they don't fully understand. They freeze in paralysis and hold more cash, or they accept the erosion as the price of modern life. All three of those responses have something in common. They treat the problem as something outside themselves, a market force, a government policy, a systemic reality they must react to rather than escape. But there is a fourth option, and it is the only one that has never once, in recorded economic history, been devalued by central bank policy, inflated away by money printing, or wiped out by institutional failure. It's your skill stack, not your job, not your salary. Your actual, owned, internally held capability set the specific intersection of technical expertise and soft skill leverage that you carry in your mind and execute with your hands and your judgment. That is the one asset that cannot be debased. That is the only store of value with a compounding rate that no monetary policy committee can vote to reduce. And most people are not building it intentionally. They're building it by accident, slowly, inefficiently, and wondering why they feel economically stuck despite working harder every year. That ends today. Let me give you a framework that will change how you think about your own earning capacity. There are two kinds of assets. The first kind is denominational. Its value is expressed in units of currency. Savings accounts, bonds, cash, even most real estate in the short term. The second kind is productive. Its value is expressed in the output it generates, independent of what any currency unit happens to be worth on any given day. A surgeon's hands don't earn less because the Fed raised interest rates. A persuasive negotiator doesn't lose leverage because inflation spiked. A data scientist fluent in machine learning doesn't see their capability eroded when the M2 money supply expands. The currency they receive for it is just the current denomination of that output's market value. And if that denomination inflates, their value inflates with it or above it. This is the compounding logic of skill that most people miss entirely. Money in a savings account at 4% interest, which sounds reasonable until you subtract a 3.5% inflation rate and realize your real return is 0.5%, is losing the race. Meanwhile, a skill that makes you 20% more productive or opens a market rate 30% above what you currently earn, or allows you to generate income from 3 independent streams simultaneously that is compounding on a curve that no interest rate environment can cap. And the data confirms this asymmetry at scale. AI and machine learning specialists are seeing salary demand grow at 40%, projected by 2030. Cloud and infrastructure salaries increased 14.5% in a single year between 2024 and 2025. Cybersecurity professionals, where the job outlook is growing at 32% over the next decade, can command compensation exceeding $760,000 annually at the top of the market. These are not random outcomes. They are the market's pricing of scarcity. Rare compounding skills are scarce. And scarcity, unlike currency, cannot be manufactured by policy decision. A single skill, even a highly valuable one, does not create the structural protection this video is about. A Python developer who can only code is replaceable by a better coder or, increasingly, by an AI system. What creates genuine irreplaceability is a skill stack, a deliberate architecture of 2 to 4 complementary skills that, in combination, create a capability profile that is statistically rare and structurally difficult to automate or outsource. Think data analysis crossed with persuasive communication and financial modeling, or cloud infrastructure crossed with business strategy and team leadership. The intersection is where the inflation-proof leverage lives. The individual skill is a tool. The stack is a moat. So how do you actually build it? Because the worst thing I can do is sell you the concept without giving you the construction blueprint. Here's the exact architecture framework. 3 layers, built in sequence, designed to compound over 24 to 36 months. Layer 1 is the technical anchor. This is the hard, verifiable, demonstrable skill that gives you market credibility and a floor on your earning potential. It should be in a sector with at least 15% projected job growth over the next decade. Based on current data, the clearest candidates are AI and machine learning, cloud computing and infrastructure, cybersecurity, data analysis, and full-stack software development. You do not need to master every tool in these fields. You need genuine, demonstrable competence in one specific subdomain within one of these categories. Depth over breadth at this layer. Layer 2 is the communication multiplier. This is the soft skill infrastructure that makes your technical anchor worth significantly more on the open market. Research consistently shows that technical professionals who can translate complex ideas into stakeholder language, lead cross-functional teams, and sell their expertise internally or externally, earn 30 to 40% more than equivalent technical professionals who cannot. This is not a personality trait, it is a learnable skill. Structured communication, persuasion frameworks, written clarity, public-facing credibility. These are the multipliers that turn a good engineer into a well-compensated strategist. Most technical people systematically underinvest at this layer and consistently wonder why the business side people with fewer technical skills seem to capture a disproportionate share of the value. Layer 3 is the leverage mechanism. This is the capability that allows your skill stack to generate value beyond the direct hours you trade for income. It could be a content platform that builds an audience around your expertise. It could be consulting structures that let you solve the same problem for multiple clients simultaneously. It could be a portfolio of automated systems or tools that generate revenue independently. The leverage mechanism is what converts your stack from a salary into a wealth-generating asset, the step that separates high income from financial independence. Build in that order. Technical anchor first, communication multiplier second, leverage mechanism third. Skipping to layer 3 before building layers 1 and 2 produces influencers with nothing substantive to say. Building only layer 1 produces technically excellent people who are chronically underpaid for their actual contribution. The skill stack is the only investment that compounds with use, strengthens under pressure, and appreciates in value precisely when every other asset class is struggling. Inflation cannot touch it. Neither can anyone else.